Hey there, my name is Pravus, and welcome to more EU4 Domination! We are playing as Austria, with my font way down over here, so you might be forgiven for misunderstanding that. We are getting that AEIOU achievement, and also going for a 1 faith, which is going pretty well, though it could be better, and I'll talk about that in a little bit. Now, we did conquer a lot more land in the last video, especially coastlines all along this general vicinity, so we're pretty uncontested down here now. I want to continue making that push all the way up over here into Eastern Asia and into Southeast Asia. If we can take a lot of this coastline, I'm going to feel pretty good about myself. I do think that in this particular video, we're going to do a lot of jump cuts. I'm talking work my way all the way up to 1700, like non-stop warfare, take everything I absolutely can, start trucking toward that Age of Revolutions, because I want to keep things entertaining for you guys, and just repeated wars again and again, yeah, it only does so much, especially when there's no particular mission. It's just systematically rinse and repeat, right? Now, the one thing I do want to talk about that I was thinking here is one faith. You know, I'm not sure we're totally on track for it yet. We're doing pretty well with the Catholic provinces, but I am falling a little bit behind. There's a ton of territory that I hold directly, let alone my vassals, that needs to be converted. And I was actually talking to Chewy Shoot about this, and he's like, hey, did you forget? There is a way of getting another missionary. I'm like, hold on, do tell. He reminded me that there is this little province over here in Norway, Bratsburg, the Heddlestave Church, that if we take that and build it up to level 2, we do get another missionary. So something totally worth doing at this point is kind of flaunting some of my power a little bit, going to Norway over here, seizing some land and saying, hey, I'm taking Bratsburg. All right, this is mine now. I am taking Bratsburg, you cannot has. I'm gonna go ahead and core this sucker, and then once it's done, I'm gonna throw a ton of money. Actually, you know what? Screw coring it. We'll just do this right now. Tons of money. Unpause, wait a day, tons of money, doop, 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 and 2 days, that's all it took. And now we can core this. And now I've got myself an extra missionary, or at least I will once the game resets itself. So that's gonna be 5 missionaries, which is fan-flip-fantastic. I also should have taken Mecca in the last war with the Ottomans. I kind of forgot about this, because I don't know if this still applies anymore. That used to be that if a Christian nation took Mecca, you'd get a missionary. I assume that's still the case, but it used to be something you could see with the triggered modifiers over here, and it's not here anymore. So either it's hidden right now, or at some point they changed that so that Christians don't get a missionary out of Mecca. I don't know if that's true, but in our next war against the Ottomans, we'll take it and we'll find out. Now, something I just realized. I mean, do I do this now? The advanced casus belli. Do I go for early imperialism? It's a little early. We're 10 years ahead of time. Probably shouldn't do that right now, but obviously that changes warfare completely. Makes my life a lot easier. I'm just saying. That said, we are capped out on Diplo power. So I'm just saying. All right, let's do it. Client states and advanced casus belli are now available. We're about to see a pop-up saying that I have now a casus belli on the entirety of the world. There's nationalism against Riga. That's it. What? That's weird. And imperialism against all countries. I like that they changed this because it used to say every single country in the world and now it just says all countries. Well, that's obviously better. I mean, yeah, having a giant scrolling text of all the people I'm allowed to legally kill now was awesome, but like, yeah, I'm good with that. Oh, someone had a tea party at my expense. Well, that's just mean. Anyway, we have a new terrible emperor with an heir. Okay, that's all good. And a 4-5-1 marriage. Oh, that's cute. Good, good, good. All that looks fantastic. So when we're ready to go into our next round of wars, it's imperialism time, ladies and gentlemen. It's imperialism time. Some of you people watching this video know exactly what that means. And some of you don't. And you're about to be very alarmed. I think I just saw something pop up about Georgia. Hello? Interesting, Georgia exists and I can add them into the empire. Weird, all right, wasn't expecting that. And Armenia exists as well. Well, hello everybody, I hope you are well. Welcome to the world. And also, be prepared to die. I'm not gonna waste my first imperialism on this war, oh come on. I got more standards than that. I think I'm ready to go ahead and separate peace out with Baumanus. This is obviously not going to be nearly as good as if I had done a proper imperialistic war, but it's fine. Can I actually get into a position where I can take away some of their forts? Because that would make my life easier. Unless there's some cores we can turn... No, we can't return any cores to people that matter. All right, that's fine. So, sure, where do you have forts? There's one here, couple up over here, one there, and one in your capital, and then one down over here, right? Yeah, let's just go ahead and take away their forts, and just make it really easy to conquer them in the future. That'll work. We are overextended, but it won't last for long because we're about to finish coring a couple of these provinces, or at least we will, once we're done with Persia, which we're actually at 80% war score, so we should be able to finish that off pretty soon. Alright, so with Persia, don't care about Afghanistan. Does Afghanistan even exist? They do. Alright, so we're not going to return anything to them. Wouldn't make sense to turn them into a vassal. So anything that can go to Punjab and to Khorasan, that has to be the priority. Alright, supposedly that's about it. We can do better than that, though. Because that's only 38% war score. So what if I take, let's say, some extra territory along here, turn that all over to Punjab, and we'll go ahead and feed all this off to Khorasan, joining up some more lands around the Caspian Sea, and also splitting Persia, which makes them far more likely to do some imploding. And of course, let's grab this province for ourselves, completing the land bridge. And that really is all that I need. And I could go for more, or I could wait, because once I start my next war with imperialism, these guys are going to die pretty hard. So maybe I just stop with this, and just enjoy a slightly shorter truce timer, even though this is not that much overextension. I'll take just a little bit more. Why not? Just a little bit more, and then that should be good enough. Alright. So I gotta hand all of this off to my vassals in a bit, but I'd say that's a pretty good start. And Georgia, you are going to become an Austrian vassal, because if I have the option to expand my empire on you, I am pretty sure that that means they're a part of Europe, and they can join the HRE, and we make them a loyal vassal. That should work no problem. There we go. Okay, so that's looking a little bit better. Where'd Bukhara come from? Hello, Bukhara. I don't remember you being there. Were you always there? You might have been. Now, let's see. Are there some other great wonders I should be building out? The answer is yes. In Timbuktu, you got a really good one here, actually. 10% reduction in tech costs for the rest of the game. Dude, that's really good. That's really good. I mean, it just cost me money. Who cares about freaking money? I'm dripping in money. I'm so rich, it's ridiculous. Let's go ahead and pick this sucker up. What is the difference here, by the way? We get cheaper missionaries and cheaper stability and stuff. That's all that matters here. It's not like it matters really that much getting this up to level 3 as opposed to level 2, but again, it's just money. Who cares? We can spend money. And actually, here's something else I like. I forgot about this. So since we did annex Zaragoza with the rest of Aragon, I can get this palace upgraded, get this to maximum level. That's some extra missionary strength. Sure. Now, I do want to try out this shiny new toy that I've got called imperialism, okay? It's just so stinking fun to play with. It changes absolutely everything. And no one on the planet is safe from my grasp, but who is a good target? We could use it against Wu in a few years. Same with Britain, for example, or we could finish off the Ottomans in even longer. That's just too long of a wait. I want to use imperialism now. I don't want to wait. Who's a worthy foe? It's not Bengal. It's not going to be Armenia. What about Japan? Japan's a little out of the way. Not exactly someone I would probably want to target. I wasn't planning on fighting them for at least a while, but we could. We just need to take over Kyoto, and I get some cheaper provinces for pretty much everything. Yeah, this could be kind of good. Okay, I like this idea. I think we're going to go ahead and declare imperialism against Japan. Now, alas, it is currently 9:15 at night, and my little baby is currently asleep, and what's about to happen can get kind of loud. Excuse me, Gimli, I need you to step outside. Sorry, buddy. Oh, you poor baby boy. No, I need you to step outside. We gotta close the door. Because I have a certain tradition on this channel. For those of you who do not know, do not be alarmed. Everything is completely fine. We just like to have a little bit of fun with this. You see, ever since I've been playing EU4, when we get to this age and we finally get to start using the powers of imperialism, I feel compelled to do the following. Hi, Japan. You shall be the testing ground for my new weapon. And it is called imperialism! Die, die, die! Oh, it feels so good to yell this again! And that's it. That's all there is to it. Completely fine. Nothing's wrong at all. This is completely normal behavior for an adult who plays EU4, okay? Everything's fine. I know it may not seem like a very well-adjusted thing to do with your life, but I don't know. It's just always been a thing. I've even got the t-shirts to prove it. If you don't know what I'm talking about, take a look at the merch below the video. I've got imperialism t-shirts. Designed by my own father, by the way, I'll have you know. And the troops are landing close to Kyoto. Sooner we siege down their capital, of course, the sooner I start getting a ticking war score bonus. Not that I expect Japan to be able to put up too much of a fight. They've got 56,000 troops. Ain't gonna be good enough. Sorry, bud. I am gonna try to take Hosokawa as a vassal in a separate war over here. They've got cores that I can use against Japan. And honestly, I wouldn't mind having a vassal so I don't have to take on too much overextension while I continue doing imperialism wars. Because Lord knows I'm about to have stupid amounts of constant overextension. It's gonna get very annoying, actually. 99% ore score against Japan. Perfect. Let's go ahead and return as many of these cores off to them as is possible. So we'll have a nice, strong vassal that I'll subsidize and make sure that they are ready to be a useful force in our conquest of Asia. And then for myself, I wouldn't mind taking at least a little bit of land up over here. But they got some weird cores and bizarre spots. Well, we'll hand them all of this, I guess. How's that? And then I'll take this stuff up for myself. All right. We'll form a small little Japanese trade company or something. Just a small one. There we go. That seems reasonable enough. All right. That was a pretty small taste of my full power. Very small taste. And it's not just about overextension, right? I just took over a huge chunk of the proper Japanese island over here, right? The several islands. You know what I mean, though. And I've only got 60% overextension because I handed a lot off to these guys. And the added advantage of handing things off to vassals is that they also have missionaries, and as long as I am forcing them to convert, like I did for Hosokawa, they'll do some conversions as well. So it really lends not only to mass conquest, but also just to make sure that we get that one faith a little bit easier. Fun fact, Japan is an idiot and will immediately defend Ainu over here if I decide to declare war against them too, huh? What, you're just gonna let me reset that truce timer? Okay, sure, you know, why not? Imperialism! Oh, and you know what? My truce against Great Britain has expired as well. They're allied to Kedah, way down over here. Okay, you know, I appreciate your optimism. I don't know how much help they're gonna be, but you know what? Good luck against the power of my imperialism! What's amazing, by the way, is we got far ahead in our Diplotech, and I'm already once again sitting at over 1,000 Diplo power. Good lord. We're generating some monarch points really, really fast. You know what I should do? Start annexing some other folks that otherwise are going to take a long time. I'm thinking like Castile. Much as I like Castile, it might be time to go ahead and just eat them. Ugh, I also don't like that Armenia is allying with all the tiny people that are breaking off of the Ottomans. That's fine, that's fine. Imperialism! Alright, that adds some more land to Georgia, who did join the HRE, by the way, as was predicted, so that's fantastic. Another HRE member on my border that I can hand things off to. We'll go ahead and get a foothold over here. They're not going to give me both provinces for some reason, but just taking Kedah itself gives me an easy access to everyone else. Then we're going to wait a day, and we're going to come back to Britain. And the question is, what do we take over here? I'm going to hand all of this off to Scotland. I will take Cornwall and such for myself, I think. The rest here I'll probably give to Scotland as well. But again, it doesn't have to be in this particular war, because then I'll just set them up in a situation where their forts are overseas and they become really difficult to deal with. So instead, if I were to take some territory off in these different directions, that could be helpful. What I don't like about all this is I then am going to have to go through and find a way to station some troops around here because rebels on all these islands gets very tedious very quickly. That said, I can take literally every province they have except for one. That's it. I'm that close. I can only take one province. All but one. What I can do is leave them so they're just one tiny little island. And then we'll kill them at our own leisure. Works for me. All right, that was easy. Oh, of course Scotland can't handle even that much territory. Gosh dang, you guys. All right, I'm gonna end up eating Scotland at some point soon. It just has to happen. They've annoyed me. Tell you what I can do instead. We can release Wales and Cornwall, and in theory, they also can become HRE vassals, and they'll be small enough, so I can just inherit them. No need to core these guys. There, that's easy enough. So I think we did say we wanted to start the annexation of Castile, and that'll be no problem. I just need to get a quick diplomat back. And let's begin the integration at the rate of 16 power per month. Well, that seems like a pretty darn good rate. Now let's think about where we want to do some additional expansion. Thaya would not be a bad choice. Go ahead and get working on that. Khmer is someone I actually wouldn't mind vassalizing directly, but it kind of depends. We've only got 8 aggressive expansion with them, which shocks me. 8? That's it? Alright, let's ally these guys and see if we can indeed turn them into vassals, because Khmer does have some cores that I can use, so I wouldn't mind having a Southeast Asian vassal. It's kind of like building my own client states. Alright, now let's see, who else can I kill? Well, there are a ton of small little nations throughout Mexico that now I have the ability to go and kill without any need for claims, so I think we're going to declare a mess of wars down in this area now. Imperialism!
Imperialism! Imperialism! Imperialism! Imperialism!
Okay, and that should put me at war with literally all the remaining natives in North America. Excellent. And the funny thing is, I don't even feel the need to pay attention to those 5 separate wars because my vassals can handle it. It's just a bunch of weak natives, no problem. I trust my vassals, alright? They're competent. Mostly. I do think it would make some sense to continue the fighting over the natives in, let's say, Africa as well. So, Air, over here you have no allies. That makes you vulnerable to the power of my imperialism. And Songhai, you're certainly not immune from this. Imperialism! Oh, yeah, and Wales and Cornwall did enjoy the HRE. Perfect. Free annexations later. I love this power. It's amazing. Let's also grab the next round of tech. 10% more admin efficiency. That's going to be beautiful. And military tech level 23. That's a pretty huge one. We get extra flanking range, extra shock tactics, better cavalry, etc., etc. Yeah, huge power spike across the board. What are some other wars that I might want to go fight? What about Kurlantan or whatever you are? You're allied to Pasai. You are a tributary of Malacca. We can reset our truce timer against them. Yeah, sure. I don't see why not. Imperialism! And for good measure, let's also try taking on the Congo.
Imperialism!
There we go, just a casual 9 wars going on right now. Not that any of them are especially big, but this is basically cleanup duty. So I can leave behind only a handful of armies to deal with all the rebels, while everyone else moves to a united front. And very soon, I'm going to have the entirety of North and South America, Europe, and also Africa under control, which leaves only Asia for the rest of the game, and it's still not even 1700 for the record. And also now begins the oh-so-enviable task of clicking a million freaking times to build town halls everywhere, because you have to build them in basically every province. And I haven't been doing that, and I was sitting at the cap of 200,000 ducats, so I should probably start spending it, but of course this is just sending my carpal tunnel into flare-up mode, which is horrible. Can we please get like a different way of addressing this? If there's a single building in the game that was pretty much required in every province, can I have a build all button? Anything like that, Paradox? My wrist will thank you. Ho 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 ho, I just finished up my war over here in Africa. I'm at exactly 100% overextension. Timed that out perfectly. Now, of course, is this one of them rounding integer things, right? You know, like a 1/10 of a digit? So it's like actually 100.02, and it's rounding down, but I'm technically over 100%. I don't know. If we see any of those events, we'll know the answer. We do get another government reform. All right, what do we get this time around? Absolutism and constitutionalism. 250 governing capacity, core creation cost reduction, and minimum autonomy in territories. Possible policies, and tolerance of the true faith, and war score cost versus other religions. I mean, technically the governing capacity is probably the better way to go. Core creation cost reduction's okay. And, you know, the autonomy is not the worst thing in the world. I mean, I got a lot of territories, so reducing the autonomy by 5% is actually rather impactful. Policies I don't think I care about, and then, yeah, I don't mind the idea of a little bit less unrest and then also cheaper war score to use against everyone else, but that doesn't really help my overextension problems, so I'm gonna take the regional representation. I think that's a debatable choice, but I think it's an okay one that works. Yeah, it's a dang shame, because Khmer, I don't think we can actually get to vassalize willingly. It was one thing, if we had a single event, an event with them, that would do the job, but I don't see that happening. Alright, dissolve alliance, we're done with you. Sorry, bud. Anyway, who's next on the chopping block? The answer, of course, would be none other than Wu! We need to kill Wu. Good old-fashioned imperialism, man, taking over all of China. Who could have seen that one coming? Anyway, imperialism! And there goes the truce against the Ottomans as well. I don't see any reason to hold off on this one. Do we want to co-belligerize anybody on this? Might end up being a little bit more overextension than I'm willing to take on, but I guess we could feed, like, let's say all of Somalia to Ethiopia. That's fine. And then what about Kazakh can go to Genoa, so we'll do that. That adds on quite a few people. Oh, good lord. Sure, I mean, this is going to be a huge war, but, I mean, what else has my vassal swarm got to do, all right? We'll just try to eat, like, all of this entire region. Feed it off to myself or to all my vassals. Well, what else is the point of having imperialism if you don't get to kill lots of people all at the same time? Bit of a reductionist way to approach it, I suppose, but that's all imperialism is, really, when you think about it. It's just extremely organized and efficient conquest/murder. But as a matter of testing my vassals, I'm not going to pay attention to that war over in the west. This entire thing that's going on over here, this huge one right over here, the vassals should be able to handle all of it on their own. So let's see what they can do while I take care of the real threat, which is Wu, who has trained up to 200,000 troops. Okay, yeah, that was more than I expected. The good news is Wu has literally no manpower remaining, so all the casualties I inflict on them are going to end up being extremely painful. Oh, disgusting! 80,000 troop stack wipe right there. Holy crud, let's do that again. Oh! Not 80,000, but still, that's another 50 gone. Yeah, look how quickly Wu crumbles. From 200,000 troops down to 78. Not a dang thing they can do about it. By the way, we're done with quality ideas. Artillery compatibility is nice. Some extra discipline is nice. And then we're going to go ahead and get that extra 10% siege ability, plus some extra morale damage. All of that is going to be great. Oh, and we should get the Diplo annexation cost reduction minus 10% here. Oh, that was... What the frick? 10% difference was enough to get like a 40% swing with Castile? I've now super annexed them. I could have done this months ago. All right, sure, why not? So, everybody ready to say goodbye to Castile? Yep, bye Castile. Ooh, baby, that's pretty good. Ooh, and I like this. They changed things a little bit so that when you inherit some different colonial nations, they change to being your color as well. That didn't used to be the thing, I'm pretty sure. This actually opens up a few additional great projects, by the way, including Alhambra, which I like. Admin efficiency plus 5% if we get this all the way, which we can certainly do. All right, let's see. Let's go ahead and start cleaning some of these wars up, because it looks like we're able to grab a couple small little territories here. Wu is at 99%. I do want to try taking a couple vassals. So Jiangzhou over here has a fair number of cores that we can use. At least a handful, not a lot, but at least it's a strategically positioned vassal to feed a lot of land up here. And then is it Chi? However you say that, they also wouldn't be a bad vassal for me. I can feed them tons of land. So 2 vassals up here to eat all of this. I get to eat all of southern China. Yeah, that all seems pretty reasonable. And how are we looking over here in the west? Overall, you know, I'd say that these guys did okay-ish. I mean, Punjab is dying. It seems like the vassals aren't trying very hard over there. All right, tell you what, I can't vassalize these guys, but you know what I can do? Take some land and recreate Ming. Not that they have nearly as many cores as they used to, but it's something, so I'll take it. Can we full annex the Ottomans? It certainly looks like the answer to that is yes, so say goodbye to them. All right, that's officially taken care of. Let's see. Curious to see if we end up getting that extra missionary. That leaves just the stuff over here with Wu and so on. These guys are willing to become my vassals. Perfect, we'll take them, I'll feed them later, and then with you, I'm gonna take all this to feed off to Ming, and then I eat about as much of China as I feel like I can stomach, though I will say the overextension is going to be terrible for doing this. I'm kind of okay with it. Boom, all right, now I know I have a lot of land that I need to hand off. What's my overextension looking like right now? 434% is kind of a lot. Yeah, I acknowledge that much, but it's about to get a little bit better. Give me a second. Okay, that cleans things up just a bit at least, so we take care of everything over there. I still took a lot of land for myself, no doubt about it. Hand this off to Georgia, all this off to Ethiopia. That gets reset down to 206%. Still, you know, pretty bad, but that's way more manageable, and certainly affordable from an admin perspective. I should probably always be looking to continue annexing some people. Scotland's would make some sense. And we're gonna go ahead and annex these guys next, I think, even with my lower reputation. should still be a relatively quick thing for me. I mean, they don't join the HRE, which means I'm not going to instantly annex them, so we have no reason to keep them around. Let's just get rid of them. And by the way, I did get an extra missionary for conquering Mecca. Okay. So, yeah, those triggered modifiers no longer show up here where they used to, but you do still get something. Okay, that's good. That's good to know. Thank you. Okay, with all that taken care of, you know, for good measure, I think we're gonna go ahead and finish off the remainder of Africa. So, let's clean these guys up. Imperialism! And we'll take out Chokwe and Katara as well. Imperialism! Okay, so we eat all of that, and we're gonna eat all of you as well, and that should officially finish off the entire continent of Africa. So I'll need to annex Ethiopia at some point, of course, since they're not going to ever join the HRE, but overall, yeah. So, North and South America, Europe, and Africa are now all mine. That leaves one real continent remaining. Not that Australia doesn't count or anything, sorry, but you get the idea. Asia remains. That is really it for my empire. So I'm going to start redirecting all my troops. It is only 1697. I said I was going to get to 1700 in this video, but that ain't going to happen at this point because it's already been 3 hours, and I need to end this video. So, I'd say tremendously good progress. Let's just systematically keep pushing from the outside in until every single one of them is dead. Then we just have to start island hopping because there's a lot of natives around Hawaii and New Zealand and stuff that we'll have to take out as well. We can do all of that at the same time. I don't know. We'll kind of play around with that. And then really it's just a question of how quickly can we convert? Because, I mean, there's a lot of land that still needs to be converted. Like a lot. But we're making progress. Thank you all for watching. Hope you enjoyed. If so, I'd ask you to hit that like button, leave a comment, subscribe, make sure you hit that notify bell, and I will see you guys next time.